prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Good morning to every one of you. Love is not just a simple word. Love is a powerful mantra which drives the entire world. This is said by a great sage. Poet Bharati is from Tamil Nadu. He has written several poems, and in one of the poems he says, always, for India independence, his poems, if somebody reads the poem itself, his blood will make sure that he has to fight with the government to get the independence. That is the power of his wordings in all his poems. Okay, so nobody can sleep when that poem is told by anyone. Such is the power of that word he uses always in his poem. And he says in one of the poem, do penance, with penance you can achieve anything. Very simple words. Do penance, with penance you can achieve anything. Okay, and there is a third word which says that means what he says is there is no other penance greater than or better than love. So do that. The penance is used in spiritual world with a different meaning. It is like a monastic activities or practices or tapas, or the exact word, the translation will be tapas. There is no exact English word, I guess, but still, as per dictionary, it says penance for the word tavam. Okay, so it's spiritual practices, means somebody is doesn't have somebody doesn't have a child for 10 years, 15 years. They are visiting all the temples, or they are doing lot of efforts, religious prayers, and so many things. And after 15 years, they are gifted with a child. And that process is called penance. That means severe, serious, continuous, constant efforts to achieve some objective, some goal in the life. That is called penance. So the poet Bharati says, if you do penance, you can achieve anything in this world. But love is the highest penance you can practice. Nothing better than that. That is what Bharati says. And the great poet Valluvar, he has written 10 poems about love. If somebody has love, it means that he has everything in his life. There are many poems which is written by not only Valluvar and all our great ancestors and sages and Mahans. Now, the problem is, there are also a lot of sayings, or not only sayings, even we might have experienced ourselves. If you are soft, people will throw you out of the place. So you have to be strong. And we always tell, I love my son, I love my wife. Really, we mean that. What exactly the meaning of love? If I always love my wife, how I should exhibit love? The love is one of the most misunderstanding or misunderstood word, particularly in English language. In Tamil, we have 10 different words which we are going to see today. So we have chosen this topic to understand the true meaning of love, because love is the highest penance one can practice. If we can practice love, anything can be achieved, according to poet Bharati. Not only Bharati, there are many. We will see one more great scholar, what he told about love at the end of the session. Okay, so today I just want to discuss around 13 points next 50 minutes or 1 hour. First, why love is required. Did we understand love properly and correctly? And according to Vedatri Maharishi, what he defines as love? Because if you see the dictionary, Webster or Collins or any dictionary you take, there are many meanings, but one of the most emphasized meaning given for love is an emotion, right? And Maharishi defines love as an action. So really, what is correct? Both are correct, or both are incorrect, or emotion is right or action is right? We will see that. And where love is originated, means what is the source of love? If I know the source of love, and if I can work on it, definitely I will exhibit true love, right? So, and love, it's not that it has to come maybe from 8 o'clock to 8:10, and after 8:10, I am like a dog. No, love should be like a fountain in me. It should blossom, it should bloom all the time, it should be there, right? And love, and what's the difference between love, which there are so many words we always we link to each other, right? Love, virtue, duty, honesty, affection, and for romantic also we use the word love. And is there any difference between love and yeah, obviously there is a difference. Love, not arrogant, ego. What is the difference between love and ego? And how can we grow our love? How can we make sure love is, like a fountain? How the love is coming like a fountain? So all these things we are going to discuss it. And I made a mistake. I prepared the PowerPoint in Tamil, and Sister Sunanta, I don't know whether she's here. She said that she will join. She made the complete translation into English, and the mistake I made is I could not go through the entire presentation. Maybe 5, 6, or 7 slides I went through it. So it will be like that, and the draft version. Actually, it is a draft version. I am not supposed to use a draft, but I'm so sorry for it. Due to time, I couldn't make it as a final one. Okay, so here and there, if some words are there, if I get stuck also, because first time I'm going through it now, first 10 slides only I went through it. So I apologize for that. Okay, so let's go through quickly now. Before we start, what is love? Why love is required? And here is a poem. What he says in this poem, the translation is here. If there is a tree where there is no water, there is no air or no sunlight, and it will be a dry tree. So someone's life will be like a dry tree without anything useful there if somebody doesn't have love. The person who doesn't have love, his life will be like a dry tree in a desert. See, all our great ancestors, they used to teach us good values by comparing with something which is happening in nature, so that we easily understand it and we easily grasp the concept of it. So they always give some analogy or some comparison so that it is easy to understand it. So he says, compared to a dry tree, how the dry tree is no use of to anyone, and someone's life also. We see so many people around us, how they were 10 years before, they are now. Actually, I happened to see I attended one of the lecture yesterday while driving from my office in the evening, and I happened to see the speaker, and he was in Qatar 10 years before I know him. And I just thought, is the same person or not? As if he is 20 years matured. 5 years back, I saw him. So not only physically, mentally, spiritually, in the inside organs, all those changes are there, right? So someone's life, they have never seen any progress in the life. Maybe he says, if there is no love, there cannot be any progress. So love is required to make progress in life, to make our life meaningful. And Maharishi has written a poem. Today's modern world, people always think to satisfy or to fulfill the daily needs. Yeah, no. Oh, morning, 5 o'clock. While getting up itself, there is a tension. Oh, 5 o'clock. Oh my God. Okay, then he starts his rushing activities, finish everything. He has to go to job at 7 o'clock and then do all the necessary work, and then coming back, what wife wanted to buy, so buy it, and all day-to-day activities, day-to-day daily needs. Our mind, our intellect, our energy, our time is 99% spent to meet the daily needs of life. This is what Maharishi says in that poem. And only those who are realized or who are enlightened, their intellect, their energy, their time is spent to achieve love, peace, and pleasure. That's the last line it says, love, happiness, and peace. Anything I do, if my energy, my time, my resources, my consciousness, if it is aiming towards love, happiness, and peace, then I am a realized person. If I even do an argument for no purpose, or assuming that the purpose will come, but at the end there is no peace or no happiness or peace, then I am not an enlightened guy or realized guy. So the realized person will spend their energy, time, and consciousness or intellect or buddhi to achieve, to bring love, happiness, and peace. Remember these three: love, happiness, and peace. Anything I do, if it doesn't bring any of the three or all the three, then I'm wasting my time, energy, and all. So today's world, everybody is spending towards in meeting the daily needs. So definitely something is required. So love is definitely required. Here is a great poet. He says that if someone tells that love and define are different, he is ignorant. We Everybody belongs to some religion. We pray our the supreme power, Almighty. But what is Almighty and what is love? Both are same. If somebody sees both as a two different entity, he is ignorant, according to that great poet. So love is defined. They don't know this. The ignorant people, they don't know what is love and what is defined. Love is God. Simple as that. If one understands that only through love one can become one with the divinity, yes, perfect. But no. Both are different. If somebody thinks like that and live like that, then he is going to suffer. That is what this great poet says. So love is nothing but God. And my purpose of birth is to become one with the God, one with the divine. So then there is no other way. So I have to enlighten myself to level of divinity means I should have love. So that is a true the meaning of achieving the purpose of birth. Okay, and if you see the dictionary, what is love now? There are two. One is as a noun. What is the definition? As a verb, what is the definition? Both are given in a dictionary. So love means is an affection on another person. That's the first one. Affection on another person, right? And a feeling of warm personal attachment. So affection, attachment, as for parent, as a child, or as a daughter, whatever. A feeling of warm personal attachment. It is a feeling, right? And of course, the love is also used for men and women, right? Sexual passion or desire. So here, if you see all the three, love means you need two persons here. Almost it's like that. The definition I infer like that, you need two persons. Actually, for true love, you don't need anybody. You can exhibit still love, right? Anyway, so love means some affection, some feeling, right? And as a verb, it says to have love. That's all. To have affection, to have attachment, to have passion, or to have desire is love. So this is the definition of love. As per almost all the dictionaries say that love means it's a feeling, pleasurable feeling, or harmonious, or happy feeling, right? uh, and affection, all that is being said. Now it also says I love Qatar, I love Puri. You can use a love in many things. I love Tamil language, I love whatever. I like it, I attract it, I am attached to it. So I use the word love, right? So it is multifaceted attraction. It is need not be a person or living thing, even non-living thing. I can have that attachment and I love that. Okay, so it's a forms of choices. So whatever choices I like, I use the word love. And expression of closeness. So I love my son means I am very close to him. So it's a close bonded, attraction. And when the moment I think of Maharishi, there is a feeling of happiness generated. So that is also a love. So love towards, there are many poems in Tamil which says love with the God, or loving the God. There are so many poems our scholars have written. So loving God, loving the moment you think of someone, there is a happiness generated within me. So that is also called love. These are all different definitions, and in one dictionary says there are 100 definitions for love, and these are all the main definition. Just a second, 1 second. I think somebody is knocking the door. I will just come in. Sorry, so sorry for that. Okay, so there are many definitions for love. Now, what is true love? Okay, love, affection, compassion, pity, sympathy, friendship, romance, it is used in all these words. Now, for example, we went with the family to a restaurant, and everybody started ordering it, and my son ordered for puri, and immediately I shout at him saying, puri, how can you order puri in a restaurant? We don't know what oil is using it, and if there will be too much oil, it is not good for us. So I started shouting, for example. Then is it true love? I love my son. I always, who, everybody says, right? Every father and mother loves their kids. But is it a true love? We need to understand, if I shout at him in a restaurant, or not in a restaurant, anywhere, any place, even within a room, if I shout at him, is it a true love? We need to understand. If love is a feeling, and if I shout it, there is a conflict here, right? Love is a feeling. So then if I shout it, why it's not a true love? So, okay, and my wife is not ready at the proper time, or he wants to buy bangles, but he is checking the necklace, which is diamond necklace, and BP is going up. So there is something, wrong going on there. Right. And, in a movie, if love is a feeling of happiness, as per dictionary, in any movie, the villain is also happy up until 80% of the movie is over. Only at the end, the climax time, the villain dies, or he goes to jail, or whatever happens. But 80% of the movie, villain is also always enjoying. Even if he kills somebody, wow, done. And he's happily leaving the place after killing someone also. But so love, definitely the true meaning of love is not just the feeling of happiness. Definitely no. There are some more things which is attached to it, because as a verb, dictionary define having love is love as a verb, right? Having attachment, having affection, so definitely we need to understand the deeper meaning of love. Okay, now what is the explanation given by Mr. Our master, our guru? He says love is a verb, and there are two actions attached to the word love. Love means two actions you need to perform. If I don't perform both actions, then it is not love. Okay, so what are those? And that is applicable whether I say I love my son, or I love Korea, or I love Qatar. Whatever I do, these two things are applied. If that is not there, then it is not a true love. Very simple. The beauty of Maharishi is not whatever he said everything, almost what is required or what is to be known for us to enjoy a blissful life, everything he covered. And whatever he has covered, bits and pieces he has explained, and there is nothing even 1% beyond which we need to look for outside. If we understand the concept of Maharishi on everything, whatever he has said, nothing else we need to, and we don't need to look for knowing more or better than what my understanding is, right? So he says, he gives beautifully some examples, and the same example I am sharing it. In a tree, the mango is coming like a small piece, right? And the tree is holding that mango, that is love, and also nurturing that mango. Whatever the food or nutrients it is required, like a water or whatever required, it takes from sun, it takes from air, it takes from the ground. All that is, it keeps on supplying to the mango until it is ripe, and then it falls down so that people can use it. So the holding and nurturing, and protection and nurturing. So these are the two activities, two actions which defines the word love. So love means protection and nurturing. We also call that as compassion. And love and compassion are like a ocean and waves, sea and waves, right? It cannot be separated. It is part and parcel of that. So love means protection and nurturing. Protection means, first of all, I don't damage at all. I protect whatever they do, whatever it happens. No, I protect. Like how mother does it. We all used to do. We all have true love as well. A mother is there in the kitchen, but a 2-year-old boy is trying to crawl or walk and get up, and he falls down. Mother is always taking care whether he touches anything or whether he falls down. The moment he falls down, mother doesn't shout the child at all. First, he lifts the child and check everything is fine, and then he helps the child to walk or get up. But if it is a 10-year-old boy, I told you 1,000 times, don't run, don't run. Why you are running and breaking your leg now? We started shouting immediately. after, after some age. So the true love means protection and nurturing. These are the two things I need to take: protection and nurturing. Without that, no. Anna Teresa, she went for seeking donation. So when she approached a rich guy, I need donation for my ashram, and there is child where there is no food and they are sick and all that, and that fellow, spitted, means on the hand. What she did, she just cleaned it, said, "You have given the gift for me, but give something for my child." So what the guy did, she is not at all upset, and she protected his feelings as well. That means, thank you so much for the gift which you have given to me, but give something for my child, because he wanted something. She wanted something to achieve. So she is again begging, give something. Now, what the fellow, however cruel that fellow is, the moment she behaved like that, no, he will give something, right? So that is real called true love. And Maharishi, when he was sleeping, I might have said in many classes, when he was sleeping at night along with one colleague, and one thief on the first floor. So he came through that drainage pipeline, and through the window he went into his room, and he doesn't have big things in his room, only one clock which is worth. So that fellow knows it looks like, and he took the clock, and then he wanted to go out of the room, right? So he went into the window and now going to come down. And now this colleague, he tried to do like that to Maharishi, saying that somebody is inside the room. Now, should we catch him? His intention is to like that. So Maharishi simply closed his mouth. Don't shout or don't tell anything now. Close the mouth. So he was under like that. And once the fellow reached down, then he said, "Why you close my mouth? I wanted to shout because that fellow is taking our clock as well." No, 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 no. If you shout now, if that fellow falls down, great sin for us. Why you shout to disturb that fellow? He wanted something, he is taking it, don't disturb. This is his thought process, right? What we will do in that place. We have to rise our thinking process also, and that is true. Protection, first protection. Whether it's a thief, whether I am losing or not, protection. And then nurturing, what he wants. Okay, give, take. So, okay, anyway, I am sure you understand it. So whether it is the situation in the hotel or a situation in a jewelry shop, and whatever happens around us, we have to show true love, means protection and nurturing. Think for a minute, all these Maharishi has given us to introspect ourselves, how much true love I exhibit from morning to night yesterday, for example. Where I didn't protect, where I didn't nurture, and I just did the opposite. If we can introspect ourselves every day before going to bed, in 2 minutes time, I will know, oh my God, I should not have spoken like that. I should not have shouted him. All that I know. No. Next day, let me follow true love. Because if I don't have true love, my life will be like a dry tree in a desert. Why? I want to live a blissful life, and I want to make sure others also are happy around me. So then I need to introspect myself and I need to change, right? So well, now there is a question. As per dictionary, it says it's an emotion or happy feeling, and Maharishi says it is an action. So which is correct? Dictionary is right. So many people have written, not one person, and Maharishi is right, which is right. So that doubt comes in, right? And yeah, I think you now many people know it. And when I talked to one of the lady in US, she called me for some other doubt. So I was shocked to hear from her. She was telling about my life on so many things. Sir, in 2014, you went for a movie. 2004, how you know it? No, you told this one in one of the movie. So they hear and again, so they know. Sometimes even I forget. Anyway, until 4 years before, we don't miss even a single Tamil movie in Qatar. As soon as it is released, we are there on the first day or second day, because my wife loves to, because she's not working, she's a housewife. And the moment I am in the system, for me, watching a movie is a worst thing I like to do it. Okay, I don't want it actually, because that 2.5 hours I can do many other useful things according to my belief system. right? It is very tough for me to change that belief system. I changed now. Okay. So I used to, okay, no, my wife wanted it. So let me go for a movie. So I used to go with my wife. And in fact, the ticket will be booked by my brother who was also here. And they both talk, they both fix the time. They would simply tell, they will call my office, today 6 o'clock show or 8:30 show, sometimes Thursday night 10 o'clock show. Friday morning, I used to go to the Indian club for giving Diksha and all, but night show, 10 o'clock show, they just book the ticket and they tell me, no, Maharishi said, life partner, you have to, true love. So yeah, no problems. So I used to go for movies with her. And I think when I started changing my belief system, no, my wife likes it. Let me also watch the movie. And I think the third movie or fourth movie, my wife said, better you don't come with me for watching the movie. And I am also not going. Why? What happened? I came with you because you wanted. I am coming. No. You come to the theater with me, but all the time, 2.5 hours, you are like this stiff man and you are watching the movie. That means you just came for the sake of myself. I don't enjoy. You don't enjoy. Why to go for movie? It's not at all good. So on the next time, I said, no. I'm so sorry. I will. Next time I started artificially, wow, like that, all that, now I started really enjoying the movie as well if we go there, but we don't see all the movies now in the last 4 years. She changed now. That is the power of Vedatriyam. The more you follow Vedatriyam, everything will fall in place as you expect or better than what you expect as well, right? So if something happens out of my expectation, we fail to really show true love there. And that is where love is required. If everything goes as per my expectation, every love is there, but that is our nature. So there is nothing great that I exhibit love. No, when something goes wrong, there only I need to exhibit true love. Now, whether it is a feeling or it is an action, which one is correct? That was the question. Both are correct. Maharishi has written another poem, which we are going to see in a couple of slides later. The love is a feeling. And that feeling, like a fountain, it should come from my inside. That is what Maharishi said in a poem. That means it is a feeling. Feeling of what? Feeling of harmony. There is no conflict with anything. That feeling, I should get it irrespective of outside circumstances or environment. Yeah, let it happen. Let it be anything. But I don't lose my harmony within myself and with outside. That's it. That is true love. That is a harmonious feeling and defines the love. Means that is the love. If I don't have the harmony within me, among the body, mind, and soul, and within me and between me and the society, then it's not true love, disharmony. And yoga is a powerful tool which achieves harmony among body, mind, and soul, and between me and the society, and between me and the nature. So these 5 harmonies, that is the purpose of yoga, right? So if we practice, I can say I have been practicing yoga for last 20 years. But the moment that fellow asks for time, why you don't have a watch? If I ask like that, the yoga has not done anything to me at all. So yoga has to help me to achieve harmony, right? So sky yoga, there are 4 levels of harmony. Okay, now we are going to little bit in-depth understanding of love in comparison to all other things, right? Now, where is the source of love? Where is the source? And love is a feeling, or love should come like a fountain from within me. That is what he says. This title says origin of love, or the source of love. And he says that இன்ப துன்ப தோற்ற மாற்றம் இயல்பு ஆராய்ந்து அறிந்திடில் அன்பு எனும் பேரூற்று அறிவில் சிறந்துடும். Like that he says. Now, what he says is that if you can analyze the origin and the transformation of pleasure and pain, if you can analyze the origin and the transformation of pleasure and pain, then love will be like a fountain within me. Means I will generate love like a fountain. Fountain means it's not stopping. It keeps on coming. It keeps on flowing, overflowing, or it keeps on coming, right? So love should come like a fountain within me, from me, only if I analyze 4 factors he is giving it. 2 things to be analyzed, pleasure and pain, and 2 dimensions we need to analyze in two dimensions. What is the two dimension? First, origin of pleasure, origin of pain, and then the transformation of pleasure and transformation of pain. If I analyze these two parameters, pleasure and pain, in two different dimensions, origin and transformation, then love will blossom. Love will be like a fountain. This poem is very, very important and the essence of today's class. So unless I am clear about this particular poem, it cannot, be like a fountain. Love will not be like a fountain from me. So what he is trying to tell? Pleasure and pain. What is the origin of pleasure and pain? Now, we all know that pleasure and pain is nothing but a variation of biomagnetism. If my biomagnetic level is excess, then what is required for my body or my mental activity, that excess biomagnetism is spent, I feel like I am happy for it. And if the magnetism level is low, when I come from the office and somebody asks me to play cricket, no, I don't like cricket. I don't want to play cricket now because the energy is low, then I feel that as a pain. So origin or how the pleasure and pain is felt, it is independent of outside. That is the first thing I need to understand. It is independent of outside thing. It is internally how I am playing with my biomagnetism that decides pleasure and pain. That's all. Very simple understanding of the origin of pleasure and pain. It is in me. Happiness is a state of my mind. Happiness doesn't depend on anything outside. Now, next he says transformation. Matram. What is the transformation? Yeah, I like laddu. Excellent. Wow, what a great sweet laddu. I enjoyed the laddu. Now I am supposed to take the laddu for breakfast, laddu for lunch as a food. I am not at all happy. Anything, if it exceeds the limit, the pleasure becomes pain. That is a transformation. My biomagnetism was in excess. I spent it. I felt as a happiness. But the same biomagnetism, when it is crossing a limit, going below threshold level or going beyond the limit of my eyes while watching a dance, I felt that as a pain. That is a transformation of biomagnetism into light, heat, and sense, smell, all that 5 sensual pleasures. Sensual enjoyments is nothing but the transformation of biomagnetism. In another place, Maharishi has written a beautiful, life is nothing but acceleration and aggravation of our magnetic energy. Very simple. The whole life is nothing but acceleration and aggravation of biomagnetic energy. So that is the transformation of biomagnetism. So that is what he says. What is the origin? What is the transformation? And where from it came? Biomagnetism. So pleasure, pain, everything is my biomagnetic energy level. So it is nothing to do with outside. So why somebody else should trigger me to get upset or to get angry? That is what we need to understand from this poem. If we can understand it, my happiness is within me and should be under my control, then love will be like a fountain, right? So that is what it says. Okay, and then the next poem is Anbu Aram. That means here love and virtues. Aram is a virtuous way of life, living. So how to live? So Maharishi has defined virtues like morality, duty, and charity, right? So in this poem, what he defines as Tumbam Pokum Tuya Neriye Anbam Aramam Arivin Vayarvam. Okay, fine. So what he says, okay. Removing the pain is the purest love. Removing the pain is the purest love. Okay, removing the pain is the purest love, and that is virtue as well, and that is the enlightenment as well, and that will be the light of consciousness to the entire world. You like holding a lamp so that every place is now, they get the light, right? Similar that you are holding a lamp for the entire world, and anybody can follow you if you understand that. So what a beautiful poem he has written. Removing the pain is the purest love, and it is virtue, and it is also enlightenment, and that will be the light of consciousness or the lamp for the entire world. And if we can understand that, and that is a seed to cleanse my karma as well. That is Vinaytu me para vittam. That is a seed to purify my karma. Let us realize it. That is what he says that. So to remove suffering, uh, removing suffering is the purest form of love. That's what I just explained you. Okay, so that is a difference. That is a comparison or between love and virtue. Now here is a poem, and Valluvar has written it. You know, the worms do not have bones, and if we are in the direct hot sun, we can withstand the heat to some extent. But if the worms where there is no bone, if it is on the outside desert where the temperature is 50, 55 degrees centigrade, how difficult it is to withstand that hot sun. Similar to that suffering, the person will go through that similar suffering if there is no love. There is no, what he says is that no virtue. If somebody doesn't follow virtue means what? Don't give pain to others, don't take pain, help as much as possible, do your duty. Morality, duty, charity is virtue according to Maharishi. So if somebody doesn't follow virtue, he will suffer like a boneless worm in a desert. That is what here he says. Virtue will burn up the soul which is without love, actually, which is without virtue, like the sun burns, right? That's the meaning of that. Okay, now here is a poem Maharishi has written. Love and duty, what is the difference? Or what exactly the meaning of love and duty? Is there any similarity or is there any difference? And what is the difference? That is what here he says. Okay, what he says here, I adjust அனைத்துயிரும் ஒன்றென்று அறிந்த அடிப்படையில் ஆற்றும் கடமையெல்லாம் அன்பின் செயலாகும். Okay, see, here அனைத்துயிரும் ஒன்றென்று அறிந்த அடிப்படையில் ஆற்றும் கடமையெல்லாம். Okay, here what he says, I adjust my I do my duty. What is duty? Duty is nothing but performing. So no, performing duty with the basis of oneness. Performing duty with the realization of oneness is called duty. Performing action with the realization of oneness is duty, and that is also love. So love and duty are not two different things. Love and duty are performing actions with the realization of oneness. Oneness means every living thing is same. There is no difference among anything. Everyone is same. That is oneness, right? So if I perform anything, now I am talking or I am doing or I am eating or I am working at office, anything I do with the basis of, with the realization of all are the manifestation of God, then it is called duty, and it is also called as love. So duty should be filled with love. That is what he says. Duty should be filled with love all the time. Whatever duty I am doing to myself, to others, or to the society, or to anything, the duty should be filled with love. That is what he says in this poem. You know, in Chennai, once Maharishi had some guests, and he was having a person who used to make tea and all. He used to help Maharishi, right? So that person brought tea for the guest. Okay, he served the tea, 3 cups, one for Maharishi and the 2 other guests who are from, I think, Arakonam Sky Trust. And they came here to see Maharishi with some collections. So they wanted to hand over the money or something like that. And after taking the empty cup, that person who took the cup to the kitchen, and mistakenly he dropped that. So the cup broke it, right? On the spot, before that person started thinking, already there is no money there. Actually, Maharishi is supposed to go to Delhi in 1 week, and that not even money collect. He has the money to book the train ticket, actually, to buy the train ticket. That was a condition on that day. And so all the cups are old, and so he broke that cup. And then before he started feeling, how can I manage the situation? How can I tell to Maharishi if another guest comes, or in the evening we don't have a cup to give the tea? From there, Maharishi is raising his voice and telling him, oh, I thought of changing those cups. It is very old. This is the best time we will change it. Immediately, Maharishi started telling while talking to his guest why he doesn't want him to even feel 1% bad for the mistake he has done. How he is treating everyone. Right? So that is the true love. and that is the duty we should perform. All right. So every life is one if this basic knowledge is known, and duty can be done with the love, Okay, that's the meaning of it. And now here is the difference between love and affection. Interesting thing, we need to know it. In another poem, Maharishi has written, all humanity suffers out of two attachment. One is affection and the other is a material attachment. So we need to really understand the difference between love and affection. Okay, now the love and affection, here he says, Uruvanilayil konda thodarval udikum ichaye pasam. That means desire out of physical relation is affection. Desire out of physical relation. What is physical relation? My mother and father, my wife, my son, my daughter, and all are out of physical relation. So anything, my blood relatives, all those, we have some special attachment because of the physical body. Maybe something is connected, either blood level or physical contact and things like that, right? So all those are affection. And then he says, the third and the fourth line, he says, the love is enlightened interest from the realization of others' feelings. If I understand the feeling of others, now if I will have some interest to perform something, that is a true love. Because now I know that person mistakenly dropped the teacup. I know that now. So by knowing or realizing his bad feelings or negative feelings or unhappy feeling, now I have an interest to make sure he is protected and he is nurtured. So now I am saying that I thought of replacing those teacups for the last 2 years. Now is the time to replace it. Please dispose it. So because he realized the other's feeling. Whereas he is my son and he broke the teacup. Come on, you don't have sense to carry a cup safely? You are 15-year-old boy. All that lecture can immediately be started now. So, of course, the intention is good for the father, but the method is animal behavior, animal character, right? Which is being exhibited because animal cannot think what is divine quality. Divine quality is love. I am born to become one with the divinity. That means I have to, nurture my divine quality of love. The true love is protection. Now, where I am protecting my son? No. So my son is through my physical relationship. So my affection is playing a role. There is no physical relationship. This is common for everybody. What Maharishi says, true love means all are same. There is no physical relation should play an important role to bypass the protection. No, I should protect it, whoever it is, right? So that is the difference between love and affection. And if you see here, the relation which rises with the physical appearance is affection. Means the physical contact. Curiosity which rises knowing psychology with the highest knowledge is love. Okay. Now he also says in another poem, affection and love. See here in this poem, what he says, affection, in affection, it will give a result, but they don't know what is the result, but they will do something. Means I started shouting my son. I don't know the result of that action. I shouted. I think he will do it next time, right? I think like that. That will be the result of that action, right? So anything I do without knowing the result is called affection. This is what in this poem he says. Love means after knowing the consequence only I do something. That is called love. So anything I do, I know what will happen. Now, but anything, I know what will happen if I shout my son. Next time he will keep the cup, he will take the cup safely. This is a wrong consequence I am thinking. It is not correct one, right? So that is why Maharishi says you have to keep your frequency low, then only you will know what is right, what will be the consequence. Otherwise, we do all wrong calculation and then we end up in all imaginary fear and all that things will come up in our life. So the affection doesn't know the consequence. Love means it knows the consequence. Knowing the consequence, if I do something, it is love. Okay, so that's what here he says it. Okay, fine. Love and romance is another interesting thing. We know it. I think everybody knows it, but still there are some good points which we don't know, and we need to. Let's see that because we know it. There are many people who said as well. No, love marriage is better and arranged marriage is better. There are a lot of jokes about that. Love marriage is like a suicide, and arranged marriage is like you yourself murdering, like that people used to joke. And love, so what people advise later, you start loving your wife after marriage. So unfortunately, love means, in Tamil we have two different words for loving wife and loving son. Two different words are there. Okay, one is a physically attracted, sexually attracted. Between the two is romantic love. Okay, now we add adjective to that, right? Romantic love. And so romantic love is different, the other love is different, right? Kids love, anyway, fine, that love is different. So the romantic love, you start having romantic love with wife, whereas really both are different. That romantic romance is different from love. Okay, so the first one is love knows consequence and romance doesn't know the consequence. Always we know that, right? Love can be like a fountain, it keeps on coming, whereas romance, it runs like a flood. Romance doesn't have eye, doesn't have ear, it doesn't care about anything, it does it. That is why we are seeing how the younger ones who are loving, they are getting into the, there are a lot of successful as well, but there are a lot of failures as well, because they are blind. It is like a flood is takes away everything, whatever there on the path. It doesn't care which is good, which is not good, can I carry, can I not carry, like that, right? So, and love has no door at all, nobody can stop it, nobody can close it, whereas romance can be blocked and can build up a dam as well out of that. Means the water can be stored and they can build up a dam. And even Taj Mahal is a result of that. Taj Mahal is a result of deep love, which can be blocked, and he built Taj, right? And somebody was asked to write his wife name in a bank form, bank application form, and wife said, write my name. No, I don't want to write your name. Why? I am afraid, because the pen will hurt when I write your name on the paper. Such is the depth of his romantic love, which is not at all. Anyway, so love begins in mind, whereas romance begins with our senses. So sensual things are playing a major role for romantic love. Love can be shared with anyone, everyone. Whereas if I start saying I love you to 5 people, finished, I'm out, right? The word is wrongly understood there. Romantic love is different, right? Love can achieve anything, whereas romance, there can be a possibility of defeat, there can be a possibility of success, and it will take you to, they become slaves as well. If someone is strong in romantic love, the other person can be a slave to him, whereas true love, absolutely nothing like that. Yeah, submissive to love, pleasant, and arouses out of emotions and feelings, right? Okay, these are the differences. Okay, now what is the difference between love and ego? Love and so if I understand him, sorry, if I understand him, amanai marandal, if I understand, sorry, if I forget God, I exist. If I forget God, divinity, I exist. You understand the meaning of it, right? Whenever I use the word I, that means God doesn't exist. I forget about the existence of God. Only I exist. I am saying you are not yet ready. What is this? Now I forget God. That is why Maharishi has written, Maharishi has said, ego means forgetting God. That's it. Forgetting God is ego. Very simple definition Maharishi has given. So if I forget God, I exist. And 6 temperaments comes out of me. 6 temperaments, greedy, anger, and all that, right? If I know him, I don't exist. If I know him means everything is manifestation of God. How can I shout my wife? So I don't exist. I doesn't exist, right? Arive avanai anbhagam. So the God becomes love. That is the translation of this poem, right? So if I forget divinity, there are 6 temperaments. And if I understand him, if I realize him, love is there. And now how to grow our love? how to grow our love. What he says here, பொருளாதார துறையில் ஏற்றத்தாழ்வை போக்கிவிட்டால் கற்பனை பேதங்கள். Okay, with the eradication of economic disparity, imaginary differences will disappear. Eradication of economic disparity. If we eradicate economic disparity, differences will disappear, and people will focus more on spirituality. Then love will blossom, and a human life will be very, very pleasant or harmonious. That is what he says, right? So if there are differences in economic sector, and unless it is taken out, differences will not go away, differences will not disappear. That is what that poem says. Okay, and he also has written another poem here, Anbu Malara. He has இறை உணர்வால் அறிவடைந்த முழுமை பெற்றால் இயங்கும் பல் உயிரிடத்தும் மலரும் நட்பை மறை உணர்ந்தோர் அன்பு என்பர் மனித உள்ளம் அன்பு பெற்ற நிலை இதுவே. By divine consciousness, by acquiring complete enlightenment, friendship will bloom among many living things. The human heart who realizes the secret is love. This is the honorable state that leads to peace. இறை உணர்வால் அறிவடைந்த முழுமை பெற்றால் இயங்கும் பல் உயிரிடத்தும் மலரும் நட்பாய். See, the realized soul define love. How he defines the realized marai unarndor, those who are realized, those who understand the hidden things like God, soul, mind, they are all hidden things, right? Those are called realized. So the realized souls define love. How they define love? That is what he says in the first two lines. The realized soul defines love as harmonious relation with all living beings by enlightenment and divine realization. Means the same meaning as the earlier poem. He says everything is one. All living beings are same. If we can realize that all living beings are same, they are out of enlightenment, then that is called love. The moment we see the differences among the people, among the manifestation, then it is not true love. That is the meaning of that. And that is love, and that is the enlightened state. That is the highest state. That is the enlightened state. And that is a seed for peace. That is the seed for peace. Love is the seed for peace. Not only love, the realization of oneness is the seed for peace. That's what here he says. Okay, that's I think this is the last poem. Aram, Kadamai, and virtue, duty, love. All three he is combining here. Virtue, duty. What here he says, if I adjust myself, I adjust my wants after in-depth understanding the wants of others, then that is called love. That is also duty. That's all. So love and duty is same. If I understand others' wants, accordingly I understand, I change my wants. I don't want to watch movie, my wife wants to watch movie. Now I understand her feeling, so I adjusted my want. Okay, let me waste 2.5 hours. No, it's not a waste. Actually, I am gaining more. I am gaining more bonding and close relationship with my wife. So I am gaining really something. Okay, but as an illiterate, I thought that it is waste of time for me to spend 2.5 hours in a theater, right? So, but she likes to watch, so I understand her feeling. Now I adjust my change. I adjust my want. That no, let me watch movie with her. If I can do like that, then that is called duty. That is my duty to my wife, and that is called love as well. And that is what we have to know it. And then love will glow. Love will grow. Love will blossom, or love will be like a fountain. Okay, and see here, dog and cat both are enemies. So with the true love, they will be like that. So we will not be. How many people you hate? If somebody asks you to write down, I should not hate anybody and anything as well. No, I don't like puri. No hatred feeling at all. Then it is a true love, and that is a true love. We need to practice ourselves like a penance. It is there in nature, but we have a lot of stuff inside. As a baby, we were. Even if mother beats the baby in 2 minutes, the baby forgets it and goes to the mother, and doing all good. But we remember 20 years before what that fellow did. Now I am trying to take a revenge on that. The baby and ourselves, only difference is the baby does love, true love, with ignorance or without knowing. We know that is the biggest culprit within us, which is blocking true love. The baby doesn't know, so the baby is okay for everything. Even if it is a snake, the baby will try to take like a rope. It doesn't know what is that snake and what is poison and all. So out of that it goes, and we also have to see everything like that. We have to exhibit like that. But then we have to act, which is good for us, which is not good for us. How can I protect myself? How can I protect the others? And how can I nurture myself? How can I nurture others? And that is called true love. And that is the true love we should practice like a penance all the time, 24 hours. Great Vivekananda have said, do you have love? If you have love, nothing is impossible in this world. That is the wordings of great Vivekananda. If you have love, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible in this world. He also said you can achieve anything and everything in this world. How? He didn't say that actually. You can achieve anything and everything in this world. And we use the same quote when we teach mind also, subconscious mind. Use the subconscious mind to achieve anything and everything. And when we talk here, love, because he specifically said in another saying, do you have love? If so, nothing is impossible in this world. And that is the power of true love. So let us understand the true meaning of true love. We need to add now true to that love to understand the actual meaning. But love itself is enough. Love is God. Love is divine. So let's understand. Let's try ourselves on day-to-day life, and let's introspect and change a little bit so that we also show true love. So with this, I